uniforms.
I don't want to get fined.
They could, you know, they've got a lot of confidence in themselves. They could see themselves as the kings of the court.
Game 1 of the semi-final, 1v4. The Breakers v the Wildcats is underway, and Andre Brown attacks the rim straight away. Pulls it short, and Mika Vukona pulls down the rebound.
That's the aggressiveness that Perth wants to see out of Andre Brown. He could really hurt them offensively if he gets it going.
Certainly can. Mika Vukona with the ball, and there's a foul early on.
Oh my, just
a slight dunk there from Thomas Abercrombie, but it won't count. As Kevin Lish is called for the first foul.
Lucky for the Perth Wildcats there. Mika Vukona just getting tripped up a little bit trying to pass the ball to Thomas Abercrombie. It's too bad because that would have been one heck of a highlight.
Great way to start the semi-final. Game 1, best of 3 series. We'll reset it again. Shot clock to 8 after the foul went to 14. Mika Vukona finds himself on the line and just throws it down with the hammer.
And Mika Vukona, that's his favorite play to do on the handoff. He loves to fake it and go to the basket, and he really took advantage of Matt Knight on that play there.
Well, there you go. The crowd got what they wanted. They got a dunk first up, Casey, and an emphatic start for the Breakers as they pop out on Tovey. Andre Brown kisses it off the glass. Nice move with the right hand for the import. Wilkinson.
Damian Martin just a little too aggressive there. Not only did he beat the basketball, he beat the player. Just took Gary Wilkinson out there, no chance to get the basketball. And here we see that fantastic move by Mika Vukona, just turning on the jets, turning the corner, getting straight to the basket, and too quick for any of the Perth Wildcats to get there and help.
Wilkinson that makes the first. A foul for Lish and a foul for Martin is crucial for Perth. Those two defensive exponents, full court pressure. They really, really will get in the face of the Breakers, and they love to get their hands in the passing lane and are physical on defense, that is for sure. Paul Henare comes away with the Wildcats miss, and there is the pressure of Damian Martin on Paul Henare.
And they're just giving Cameron Tovey the jumper there. That's something that he's going to have to knock down to get the Breakers out of that zone.
Step through move from Thomas Abercrombie. Sweet as you like with the layup. Damian Martin holds it up. Kirk Penny on him. Tovey with it in the corner. Gives it inside to Matty Knight. Matty Knight, the fall away. Just a little bit short, and Mika Vukona picks up another rebound.
And you hate to see the 6'10 players fading away from the basket. Perth would be much happier if he was taking it right to the defense.
Mismatch time, and Damian Martin is going to pick up his second foul as Mika Vukona trapped him, and that is crucial. Rob Beveridge is thinking to himself, that's 2 fouls, what am I going to do?
Not what they wanted. Damian Martin is really the floor general, the leader of this Perth Wildcats team. He doesn't get a lot of points on the offensive end, but he really keeps that offense clicking over and getting the ball to the right guy in the right place.
The 2011 Defensive Player of the Year has 2 fouls on him. And we have a couple of players, in fact, 2 Perth Wildcats and Mika Vukona from the Breakers both slipped. And Mika Vukona looks just a little bit gimpy. Got a hip check there from Kirk Penny as he turned the corner. Maybe just a stinger.
Going to cause a bit of a Charlie horse there. That looks like a bit of knee-to-knee action, possibly on the thigh. But I don't think anything's going to get Mika Vukona off this court except for foul trouble.
3 to shoot. Henare hits another jump shot early on in the game like he did against Adelaide. He actually opened the scoring against the 36ers last week.
And he's always had the ability to shoot the basketball, but he just really looks for the better other shooters on the basketball team, but did a great job of shooting it there.
Really great atmosphere inside here as Kirk Penny picks up the foul on Cameron Tovey, and Dylan Boucher is in the game. Mika Vukona will take a seat.
Might have to call a foul on that goatee that Kirk Penny's got there. I don't know, growing the playoff beards the Breakers are, but I'm not too impressed with Kirk Penny's effort.
Some people in the Breakers organization have gone for the beard as Lish takes the 3. Misses, and some have gone for the goatee. They won't talk about it, of course. As Penny drives with the left hand, puts up the floater, just grazes the rim, and the ball goes out, and the Breakers will get it back with a fresh 24 after the miss.
A nice aggressive move to the basket. You'd really like to see the Breakers not settle for those jumpers, but keep on going straight to the basket.
Mika Vukona heading to the changing room to get that looked at by the physio. Gary Wilkinson. Double team shown by Martin. Penny from deep. High above Cameron Tovey as he curled up. And a contested three for Kurt Penny.
The inside-outside action, so valuable for the Breakers. Great look by Gary Wilkinson, and Kirk Penny with the quick release gets that shot off him.
3 minutes gone in the first quarter. The Breakers with a 10-2 lead as Matty Knight answers with a soft little jump hook.
Much more aggressive that time, not fading away, taking it right to the defense. Really tough to stop that jump hook.
Abercrombie pops, won't drop. Matty Knight pulls it down, and Martin to 3-on-2 situation as Lish spins on Hanare, foul. That will count, and Kevin Lish will go to the line.
And as he goes offensively, so go the Perth Wildcats. He's had a great year so far against the New Zealand Breakers. Rob Beveridge and the Perth Wildcats would expect the same, and just a nice move on the fast break. Pollinari just got caught a little bit too much contact there, but a great quick spin move by Kevin Lish, and did a great job of absorbing the contact and finishing the play.
So Kevin Lish converts it, and just like that, that 8-point lead is cut to 3. Hanare to Boucher. Penny has it. Matty Knight on him, and Matty Knight got him good.
And just too much quickness there. Matt Knight got caught on the switch, tried to move his feet, just couldn't move them quite fast enough. You know, Kirk Penny's a tough matchup for most of the guards in this league, but just about an impossible matchup for a big power forward or a center.
And Andre Lemanis rings the changes. Wilkinson, Abercrombie, and Penny will take a seat coming into the game. It's Pledger, Bruton, and Dylan Boucher already out there. Bounce pass, no good as Kurt Penny hip checks Damian Martin into the hospo seats.
Kirk Penny throwing his body around right now, being really aggressive offensively. But those are the kind of fouls that you can forgive as a coach, as a team. Always want to err on the side of that aggressiveness and going after the basketball, putting your body on the line. You can't fault that at all.
Pledger pops out nicely on Damian Martin. Andre Brown would like the mismatch with Pledger. Shoots over the top of the 7-foot, almost banked it in, but Cameron Tovey just waltzed in with the rebound and put it back in. And the lead for the Breakers is cut to 1.
Kirk Penny missed the block out there, was watching the ball instead of the player, and it cost him.
Penny, nice move. He's hammered, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Being really aggressive going to the basket tonight. He's got a real skill when he splits that defensive, that on-ball screen, when he splits the defenders. Took it right to the cup, absorbed the contact, and he's extremely skillful offensively as earning those trips to the free throw line.
Well, it's really back and forth here with 5:47 to go in the first quarter. Last time Perth were here, they had 50 missed shots in the game. They went 28 of 78 as Penny makes the first. 17 more shots than the Breakers, but it was second chance points. 18-2, the Perth Wildcats had the advantage.
And if we see another advantage like that tonight for Perth, it's going to be very difficult for the Breakers to come away with the win. That's just too many points to give up off the offensive glass in your home gym.
Kurt Penny and his 5 points takes a seat, and Thomas Abercrombie will check in. He has checked in. Bruton on Lish. Likes the quickness, does Kevin Lish on CJ Bruton, as Martin uses his quickness as well. 3 on the way from Way. He missed in the corner, but they get the rebound. Martin. Knight has a mismatch on Dylan Boucher. Who wants it? Stephen Way controls it for the Wildcats. Good offensive rebounding from the visitors as the 3 rattles in and out from Damian Martin. The worst 3-point shooting team in the league is Adelaide, and Perth are just a couple of percentage points above them. They do struggle from the outside as Pledger with just a rolling skyhook from the big man.
And you'd love to see that from Alex Pledger. That's the kind of offensive ability he has. Doesn't show a lot of it on most occasions, but if he's going to do that, you want to keep feeding the big fella.
Lish gets in the lane. Hand on the ball from Boucher, harassing him. He's on the ground. Ball still loose. Who comes up with it? Matty Knight. Matty Knight is fouled with the little push shot in the key. Dylan Boucher hammered him, and Mika Vukona on the Breakers bench and back.
Only 1 second on the shot clock with that foul there. Breakers not quite aware of what was going on, but just that kind of scramble gets the defense caught in a bad position, and Matty Knight took advantage of it.
So it's a corked thigh that Mika Vukona has sustained. It's a TV timeout here in the first quarter. And Casey, it really is, I guess you could say, the Breakers trying to break down that pressure defense from the Perth Wildcats.
Come up, be strong with it. You know they're going to come over the top. Box them out first, then go get it. That middle on-ball screen work like they're all over the place trying to spread us out. So you got to talk, be aware of where that low man's coming from. Good show on that. On the catch here, on the post man, be strong. If it's mismatch, make sure you keep pushing them back till you open and dig the blitz. Don't get them let them go baseline. Martin's got 2 fouls, so keep being aggressive on that. All right, keep being aggressive. Hey, next time down, just come down in trans, go with a handoff. So it's here on Tommy, you come take it. Keep on going.
And the Breakers got to be really happy with their start tonight. Mika Vukona getting the action started and the beautiful move. Thomas Abercrombie, a nice floater down the lane, the player of the week last week, trying to keep that going. And Paul Henare showing the jump shot. A lot of jumpers, Kirk Penny as well. The team sharing the basketball well, doing a good job of countering that aggressive Perth defense.
Just 2 shots missed by the Breakers. They're 5 of 7 from the floor, and already Perth have put up 12 shots, connecting on 4, and Matty Knight is back of the line. And this is an atmosphere we haven't heard from the Breakers crowd this early on. They're loving the fact that it's playoffs time already.
Yeah, they're not even cheering for free burgers yet, you know, they're just cheering for basketball. It's great to see, but the Perth Wildcats, they've missed 8 shots, but they've already got 3 of those back on offensive rebounds. That's why it's so important for Mika Vukona to sort out that cork thigh, because he is the key to the rebounds for the Breakers team.
Makes the second. Breakers lead is 4. 14-10 as Kevin Braswell has Robbins on him. Braswell, the 6th man of the year for the Breakers. Abercrombie gives it to Boucher. It's 5 to shoot. Bruton has it. Braswell's wide open. Shoots over the top of Lish. Missed everything, and the Wildcats come up with it. Knight has the bigger pledger on him. Contested shot. Matty Knight. Beautiful move down low.
And they really like that matchup. They're really attacking going with Matty Knight in the post, and he's doing a great job of scoring the basketball. And that's when you use his fadeaway against the 7-footer when you've got a bit of a size mismatch.
10 to shoot for the Breakers. Bruton. Long J. Nothing but net to CJ Bruton.
So good on the perimeter with that step back. And he's been here before, he's done it before, and the Breakers are going to lean on him for that experience.
Jesse Wagstaff for a 3. Pledger comes down with it. Bruton for 3.
And he's got the confidence going tonight. The quick 3 in transition, that's what the Breakers love to see.
Oh yes, if CJ Bruton can hit some shots early on, as Kevin Lish is just hacked by Dylan Boucher going across the lane. Look out, Perth.
And the crowd doesn't like it. I don't know why, but Dylan Boucher, feet not quite fast enough. And then after, on his way down to the floor, he also got his hand in on the foul. Good move by Kevin Lish. No real need for the help there, but Dylan Boucher just couldn't quite get his seat set, gets caught with the foul, but he goes to the bench now. Mika Vukona with a bit of a gimpy leg back in to test it out and see how his fitness goes.
Lish makes the first. The Perth Wildcats lost their superstar, Sean Redditch, in January, late January. Sustained a horrific hip injury as Williamson checks in for Lish. And since then, they've gone 4-7. They scraped into the playoffs, you could say, but they are rested 13 days. And it takes 12 hours to get here from Perth. So the advantage really is with New Zealand as Abercrombie rises for 3 and just buries the triple.
And here you see the sharpness of the Breakers. The question before the game was, would you rather be well rested? Would you rather have come off the games and the wins? Well, right now it looks like the wins. They're coming out extremely aggressive and very sharp in the early going.
Just the elevation on that 3 as Robin drives and gets the layup. Nice move from the little man. There's that full court pressure from the Wildcats as Bruton gives it to Mika Vukona in the middle, trying to break that trap. Turns the corner, loses his defender. Beautiful wraparound pass to Pledger, who just throws it down again. Matty Knight's leaking. But his offensive goaltending as Pledger sprinted the length of the floor, realising that was his man. But unfortunately, it's 2 points for the Wildcats.
Well, the nice dunk by Alex Pledger on one grind, and he did a great job of hustling back. Just a little too late. Good call by the official. That was off the glass before it hit.
Fall away from Braswell, the lefty.
And they are sharp offensively right now, but Perth is doing a great job of weathering the storm. They're still in this game only down 8, and they're still aggressive offensively.
The Breakers 10 of 13 from the floor. Wade rises up and fires and hits the long J. Andre Lemanis will be happy about that. That's the zone that they're more than happy to give up the shots. The long 2. More pressure from the Wildcats. Crossover move from Braswell. Gets rid of Williamson, but can't hit his second shot. Wade's driving, felt the contact, put the shot up, and he'll shoot too as Abercrombie got him.
And the transition defense has been a bit of a thorn in the paw of the Breakers unit so far this season. No different right now. It looked like they had 5 guys back, but just couldn't get in front in time. Great job by Stephen Way of pushing the basketball, had Thomas Abercrombie in his hip, drew the foul, and the bonus, sending him to the line for 2 free throws.
So Pledger and Vukona sit down. Gary Wilkinson and Boucher back. Vukona with a slight limp as he went to sit down. That stinger still affecting him somewhat.
I'd really hate to see him at anything but 100% for the Breakers, and that's a guy that really depended on. Oh, a little physical in the post there. Jesse Wagstar getting a bit of an elbow to the face.
Drew Williamson with the pressure on Kevin Braswell. A minute 26 to go on the first. Braswell gets into the lane. Wilkinson, 3 on the way. He strokes the triple. Breakers are shooting the lights out from deep. 4 of 5 in the first quarter, and they have an 8-point lead.
And they're playing excellently offensively right now. But the Perth Wildcats, they're still in this game. They're really doing a great job out here on this road basketball.
Jesse Wagstaff all alone in the corner. No luck there as Jeremiah Truman couldn't track down the board, but it came off a Breaker's hand. He was happy to let it go.
And the early going, the offensive rebounds really keeping Perth in the game offensively, giving them those second chances. They're not shooting the ball very well, only 44% compared to 73% by the Breakers right now. That's just fantastic.
Under a minute to go on the first. We've got a foul on the baseline, and that's an offensive foul. It's on the Perth Wildcats.
Just a little too aggressive for the screen by Stephen Way there. You know, playoff basketball, you're trying to get your shooters open every chance you can get, and just a little bit too much physicality.
Perth Wildcats in a 2-3 zone by the looks of it. Bruton has the ball on the wing, gives it to Braswell. Abercrombie, 3 on the way. In and out. Williamson comes away with it. Holds it up, waits for the rest of the Wildcats to come and join him in half court. 30 seconds to go. Wade drives, goes up strong, misses, gets it back. Another offensive rebound. And we got another foul from the Perth Wildcats. And I believe it's on Jesse Wagstaff.
Just coming in trying to be extremely aggressive offensively. Looks like it was on Jeremiah Truman. That's what Jeremiah Truman's job is. He's coming off the bench. He's got 5 fouls to give, and that's what they expect him to do, put his body on the line, play with reckless abandon, and that time just a little too reckless, but not where you want to get that foul. Straight to the free throw line from 90 feet away with 22 seconds left.
They've been on 5 team fouls for about 5.5 minutes as well, so the Breakers, Gary Wilkinson hits the first and the second. Breakers lead is 10, 22.3 seconds to go. Robbins will hold up for the last shot. Williamson gives it to Wagstaff. Head fake from Wade, drives, goes up, gets it in. 3 seconds to shoot. Braswell needs to get a shot off, loses the handle. That's it. The first quarter is over here at the North Shore Event Centre. The Breakers lead the Perth Wildcats 31-23.
And what a big, tough shot by Stephen Way there. Down 10, really needed something to get some momentum going into the second quarter. And just what a great job finishing over Thomas Abercrombie. But here we see some highlights from the first quarter. CJ Bruton with a little jab step back. He's used to finals basketball, and you can tell he's coming out with a lot of aggressiveness. But everybody on the Breakers really shooting the ball well. Catch and shoot action. Everybody's looking for each other. We see the great pass and dunk there by Alex Pledger. And just on fire from the outside. The Breakers 4 for 7 from three-point range in the first quarter.
And the best thing about the Breakers in the first quarter, I should say, the balanced scoring sheet. Wilkinson has 6, and there is 3 players on 5 points each. Penny, Abercrombie, and Bruton. So Angela Manos will be happy with the distribution and the way his offensive systems are working out there.
All right, end up hustling that. Biggs, you got it. Guards, be aggressive with this. If there's a big down here who can bump you out on the weak side, go ahead and push him off. If not, there's not going to be talking to him. And the other thing on that is get them going the way we want them to. Right now, Lish is getting to his left hand. Damian Martin is getting to his left hand. Push those goes right. Yeah, Robbins goes left. We've got to continue to contain that penetration. Offensively, like the run is good. We were good early being aggressive at the rim. All right, you got aggressive at the rim there. Continue to be aggressive inside, outside. Weak was good for us. Post touches, inside, outside. All that action is good for us. All right.
And you're trying to switch with this guy and this guy coming out. You may just stop right there because this guy's trying to fight over.
This one here, just come out, go 2 rip. All right, go 2 rip. So we've got Tommy coming off G here. Work G, come hard. We hit Tommy. CJ's come off nice and high. Dylan, you're here. As Tommy goes, you punch screen him. You're on the rim. G, you go ahead and pull behind. Okay.
Hey, 4 offensive boards. Too many for them.
Yeah, all the loose stuff. 1, 2, 3.
Well, the question is, can the Breakers keep shooting the basketball like they did? The Perth Wildcats got to be shaking their heads saying, hey, they can't do this for 4 quarters. But if they do, it's going to be a tough night for the Perth Wildcats.
Certainly is in the Breakers. You heard Dean Vickerman there at the end. The Perth Wildcats are absolutely smashing them on the boards at the moment. 15-6. 5 of them offensive rebounds for the Perth Wildcats, none for the Breakers. And they're really getting hurt at the end offensively. Braswell, 3 on the way. No good, but there's an offensive rebound. The first of the game. Gary Wilkinson tracks it down, but hands in the passing lane, and Damian Martin comes away, gives it to Lish, and Lish will go to the line, and it counts.
And there you see the quick hands of the Defensive Player of the Year. Damian Martin did a great job getting in the passing lane there. Just look at those quick hands. CJ Bruton thinks he has an easy pass. Damian Martin dunks down, and then finds his teammate. CJ Bruton unfortunately compounds the mistake by getting to the free throw, getting Kevin Lish to the free throw line and giving him a chance for the 3-point play.
Lish converts that 3-point play, and the lead is now just 5 for the Breakers, 31-26. Breakers doing well to get the ball up as Abercrombie just jumps over a Wildcat, but Jeremiah Truman cleans up the miss, and the Wildcats have the ball. Martin regathers it. Abercrombie on him. Gets the high screen, puts up the left-handed floater. Nice move from Damian Martin.
And so much more comfortable when he's going to his left. We heard Andre Lamanis say keep him off that left hand, but the Breakers were unable to do it there.
Bruton left all alone. He nails a 3. CJ Bruton is up to play some finals basketball for the Breakers.
And the Perth Wildcats got to find him whatever defense they're playing.
Another quick shot from the Perth Wildcats, just going at the heart of the defense. And Gary Wilkinson picks up the foul on Stephen Way.
Doing a great job in transition right now, Perth is. Really taking advantage of the quick rebounds and pushing it down the throat of the Breakers. But here we see CJ Bruton. The defense in the zone just a little bit too late. The rotation's not quite on point for Perth. The Breakers have struggled a little bit with that zone tonight, but not on that play with CJ Bruton with a wide open 3 from the wing.
Wayne, this is the first. This is 3 through 9 and 10 in the game for the Perth Wildcats. CJ Bruton has not missed a shot. 3 of 3, 2 from deep. As the second one goes in.
Here we see that press defense by the Wildcats yet again, giving the Breakers a little bit of trouble, but really doing a good job of slowing down their offensive rhythm.
Bruton. Excuse me, it's Boucher. He just throws it away, trying to find Braswell.
And that's the hope with the press. Just get the offense sped up, get them a little uncomfortable, and make them try and do things that they don't want to do. And there we saw Dylan Boucher just being too aggressive, got too low, and made the bad pass.
Looking after the ball is crucial in the playoffs. And the Perth Wildcats are doing the business. No turnovers just yet as Wade drains another long jump shot for the Wildcats.
And he's looking great in that mid-range too, doing a great job from about 17 feet of really converting.
8 points. He joins Lish as the leading scorer for the Perth Wildcats. Braswell gives it to Wilkinson, puts it on the floor, tried to give it to Boucher on the baseline. And another turnover, 2 in a row for the Breakers. Lish, transition 3. Oh yes, Kevin Lish drains it. And we got a timeout on the floor from Andre Lamanis. He has seen enough as the scores are tied in the second quarter.
Well, the Breakers have cooled down a little bit, and a lot of that has to do with taking care of the basketball. Here we see Gary Wilkinson trying to force the pass down inside the paint there, converting on the other end. Kevin Lish with a quick three-point shot in transition, and CJ Bruton did it earlier, but Kevin Lish did it there, and it was a good-looking shot.
When we get in the zone, against the zone, we've got to get short corner, mid-post established, and we've got to get some touches. Guys cutting to the rim, people behind it, inside, outside, continue to be aggressive. Turnovers have hurt us. Trying to make plays that aren't there. All right, turnovers have hurt us. On the fly, Gary, in trans, like that humble comes there, we've got to hustle that. That happens on the fly. You've got to be up there and hustle, keep that guy in front of us. You've got to talk, can't get wiped out. And that middle on ball, again, that's a hustle. You've got to talk, got to keep talking on that stuff, all right? Hey, we're okay. Game goes in runs, all right? Be aware of press break here, man in the zone. If it's a zone, go ahead and get it. Once we break it, just get in the zone motion. We're good. There we go. 1, 2, 3. It's a man.
Breakers not as efficient offensively. The Perth Wildcats did a great job of weathering the storm, and they're right back in this ball game. Down 8-10 points earlier. Right now tied at 34, 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Breakers getting the production from the bench, but the second quarter has not been a great start. They're on an 11-3 run of the Wildcats. And here is their press. As Boucher just goes straight down the middle. No one picked them up. He had Martin on his hip. And Matty Knight will pick up the foul. He pushed Gary Wilkinson, but Dylan Boucher will be gutted. He could not finish that move.
And a surprising foul. Foul number 2 on Matt Knight. Dylan Boucher really aggressive, trying to take it right at that press defense and force them out of it. And there we see the offensive rebound.
Wilkinson getting free underneath and puts it in. Breakers 36, Wildcats 34. Hanari's out there. He's on Martin. Gives it to Lish. Bruton on him. Jab step. Crossover. Spin move. Stop. Midway is Matty Knight has it. 2 to shoot from Knight. Misses everything. But Andre Brown. Right man, right place.
And the offensive rebounds just killing the Breakers right now. We talked about all the missed shots in the last Perth Wildcats last showing here, and looks like more of the same tonight.
6 offensive rebounds for the Perth Wildcats. Penny for 3. No good. Matty Knight pulls it down. Lish has it, holds it up. Brown in the post, faces up on Wilkinson. Goes up and over him, front of the rim. Just no one really wanting the ball hard enough for the Breakers.
Gary Wilkinson did a good job of extending them defensively and forcing the missed shot, but then he turns around and just watches the ball bounce down, and that aggressiveness that the Breakers had earlier in the game just they've seemed to back off that a little bit so far.
Pressure from the Wildcats, turns up another. My goodness, what a block from Thomas Abercrombie. Perth Wildcats still have it. Look away pass from Lish, and Matty Knight gets 2 more points. What a sequence of play from both teams.
And turnovers and offensive rebounds, the story of the night for the Breakers. If they can't shore that up, they're going to be in real trouble.
Nice little pass to Gary Wilkinson, and he puts it in. Scores a level. Lish gives it up to Knight. Knight can't get it. It's Dylan Boucher.
Andre Brown gets the credit for that one. He's just a beast right around the basket right now. Just killing the breakers on the offensive glass.
4 points in the quarter for Brown. As Gary Wilkinson just faded on the hook shot. No guide hand. It just dropped.
And who says the breakers don't have an inside presence? There's Gary Wilkinson with a pretty move offensively. He gets a break. He's probably a little winded, had that bout of the flu last week. His conditioning wouldn't be exactly where he'd want it to be, but Alex Pledger back in the game. Maybe he could do a little bit better job of keeping Andre Brown off the glass.
No sign of Vacona in the second quarter so far. As Brown controls it, Pledger is out there for Gary Wilkinson. Penny trying to play some defense. And Cameron Tovey gets the nice move. The jump shot drops. And Perth had the lead, 42-40. Pledger down low. The hook won't drop. Abercrombie, 3 on the way. Too strong. Boucher took it out of Martin's hands as Abercrombie just goes up, and he gets the nice soft finish for Thomas Abercrombie.
Well, if you can't do it from deep, try it a little closer. He misses a 3, but that doesn't affect the confidence. Right back into the paint, and a nice little layup.
Scores are tied as Matty Knight goes to work on Pledger, banging him, front rims it. Matty Knight, sometimes he's hot, sometimes he's not today.
Never easy to shoot over the 7-footer. Good defensive pressure.
Penny, step through. Oh, it's good. Flips it up with the right hand, and the Breakers have the lead again, 44-42. Foul on the floor.
And Roger Shield calls a foul on Paul Henare there. Not sure exactly what he was supposed to do. Looked like a good solid screen by Matty Knight, but that's not the way Roger Shield sees it. So we're going to get Perth ball on the sideline.
So subs in for the Perth Wildcats. Wagstaff is in. So is Drew Williamson. As Tovey is hacked by Dylan Boucher.
Cameron Tovey can be a real X factor for the Perth Wildcats. When he gets it going offensively, they become that much more difficult to guard. We saw him a couple possessions ago with a nice jumper on the baseline, and there uses his quickness with the spin move, and Dylan Boucher trying to help out. Gets his hand caught in the cookie jar and gets the foul.
14 fouls for the Breakers, as well as Tovey hits the first. Cameron Tovey, Wagstaff, and Truman. Nice in-between players, really, aren't they? Good perimeter defenders, they're long bodies, and a bit of size as well.
Love to have those tweeners that can play multiple positions when they're effective, and all these guys really are. They can play, they can swing from position to position, and that just really gives you a lot of flexibility as a coach and as an organization.
Corey Webster in the game for the Breakers. As Penny gives it to Pledger. Pledger faked, and Andre Brown just smashes his arms, and Pledger will go to the line.
A good strong foul there. Want to send the big fella, one who always wants to dunk it, to the free throw line, and Kirk Penny did a good job of finding him. Alex Pledger with a nice up fake, but Andre Brown says, no layups in our house. You're gonna have to earn those at the free throw line. It turns out to be a good foul for Perth. At best now going to be able to convert on 1 of 2 free throws. And a good foul to a great foul for the Perth Wildcats. Alex Pledger not able to convert on both of those free throws though.
Scores stay tied, 44 all. With 4 minutes to go. Oh, Williamson just rises up and nails the long two. It's 46-44 to the Wildcats. It's back and forth in the second quarter.
Nice offensive motion being showed by the Perth Wildcats there. Just a real clean offensive possession.
Penny, 3 up high, in and out. Williamson has it. Another rebound for the Perth Wildcats as Williamson's shot is blocked out of bounds.
Dylan Boucher with the help there. Doesn't agree with the call. Doesn't often agree with the referees, but tonight should be no different.
16 rebounds to 10. Perth Wildcats advantage is 6. They have 7 offensive rebounds in the first half. Pump fake from Williamson, feet set, tried to give it up to a cutting Brown. Kirk Penny comes away with it. Crowd rises to their feet. And he is hacked by Williamson. Tough playoff style, hard foul from Williamson, and Coop Penny will go to the line.
And finally, the Perth Wildcats get a turnover. I believe that's their first one of the game. Just through Andre Brown's hair and hands there, and Kirk Penny aggressive, pushes the ball up the court, using his speed and quickness to his advantage, getting down the court as quickly as possible and earning a trip to the line. Just a great back and forth basketball game tonight. This is what finals basketball is about. Two teams looking like they're playing at the top of their games right now, and each team just taking the best shot from the other and coming back for more.
Tom Abercrombie checks in as Coop Penny hits both, and Boucher will take a seat. It certainly is back and forth in the second quarter. Breakers 10-point lead heading into it. A race in almost less than 2 minutes. As Tovey gives it to Martin. Martin drives into the key, step through, left hand, beautiful move from Damian Martin.
So good at coming back to his left hand, much more comfortable that way. Kevin Braswell had him going to the right, but with a really nice step-through move, gets a nice pretty floater. Well, maybe not pretty, but a nice floater nonetheless.
Still, Mika Vukona sits for the Breakers as Kevin Braswell hits a two-pointer from the elbow. Webster harassing Tovey. Wagstaff with the screen. Penny on Williamson. Gives it to Andre Brown with the short jumper. Andre Brown, he's got a really nice touch around the key.
He has been key for the Perth Wildcats tonight, doing a great job on the offensive glass. And that mid-range jumper, Alex Pledger just looked a little bit too much to the help side. Andre Brown just steps to the right place. Had a nice, easy 12-footer that he converted on.
Pledger takes a seat, as does Penny. Wilkinson is in the game. Along with Braswell, Bruton, Webster as the Breakers turn it over again in Abercrombie. It is turnover number 5 in the game. Corey Webster just reaching in there, picking up that personal foul, and that'll be foul number 5 for the Breakers with 2:09 to go in the first half.
Just a bit too aggressive. The Breakers need to be more cognizant of where they are in the foul trouble when they're about to go to those one-on-one or the bonus situations. And here they are with 2 minutes left. No fouls to give, and the Perth Wildcats sitting down on 3. Just a nice tight game. We see the Perth Wildcats really coming back in that second quarter.
Guy, you might have to come over if he dives that. You know? Now, offensively, I love the Fox 2 that you ran. Okay? Right, let's run another Fox 2 with Kev this time. No, let's run a Fox 3. Fox 3, so you come off this hard. If you're not there, kick it back, re-screen, maybe come off back.
As soon as we play on the curl and wags, I'm spinning to Dre. I'm going to pop, Dre's going to be open.
Now, late clock, we're penetrating, secondary penetration. Here we go, 3, 2, 1.
The challenge is off the dribble. All right, here we go now. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Heard the Breakers finish up talking there about defending the dribble. The Wildcats right now doing a great job on their penetration and converting with a layup or finding the open teammate. But the foul trouble going to be a bit of a concern now for the Breakers. We got 3 players, Kirk Penny, Dylan Boucher, and Paul Hanari all on 2 fouls. And for the second quarter in a row, the Perth Wildcats are in the bonus.
Williamson hits the first for the Perth Wildcats. BJ Anthony in the game for the Breakers. Mika Vukona still out.
That does not bode well for Mika Vukona. BJ Anthony coming in. You know, the developmental player has done a great job for the Breakers when he has played, but Mika Vukona can really be said he's the heart and soul of this Breaker unit, especially on the rebounds.
2 minutes to go in the first half at the North Shore Event Centre. The defending champs are up 4 as Bruton misses a 3, and the Breakers are under the pump here in game 1 of the best of 3 semi-finals. It's 1v4. Robbins didn't want the 3. Tovey puts it on the floor, and that's a rebound that Tom Abercrombie is leading by example. There's his hand in the passing lane there from Robbins. And BJ Anthony will inbound it.
It's going to have to be group rebounding for the Breakers now. Their best and most prolific rebounder, Mika Vukona, looks like he may or may not be returning to the game tonight. And it's going to have to be a total team effort to really make up for those numbers that Mika Vukona normally brings in.
Usually averages about 7.5 rebounds a game for the season, I should say, as Wilkinson misses it. Perth can extend the lead to 6, maybe 7. High-scoring affair here at the North Shore Event Centre. Braswell read that play perfectly. He'll go up and put it in, and the lead is cut in half, 52-50. Closing in on 60 seconds to go in the first half.
Damian Martin, not the only player with quick hands out there. Kevin Braswell's got some of his own, and we saw it there.
Wagstaff on Anthony. Nice defense from Benny Anthony. Breakers come up with it. Crowd appreciates the effort. Bruton thought about it again and went, hey, why not?
And Jesse Wagstaff and Ben Anthony Jr. going out a little bit. Nice little physical battle there.
Refs are letting them go for it. Toby misses the 3. Less than 30 to go in the half. Bruton will milk the shot clock as much as he can to deny Perth a little bit of extra, maybe 5, 6, 7 seconds to get a shot off before the end of the half. 6 to shoot. Abercrombie drives, goes up. No one is up there to meet him for the Perth Wildcats. They have 6 to shoot. Robbins gives it up. Lish for 3.
And the Breakers just avoid the dagger from Kevin Lish. You could not be tighter here tonight in the North Shore Event Center. 52-52 at the half, and two teams really giving it their all out there.
They're on their feet at the North Shore Event Centre. They like the effort that they saw at the end of the half from the Breakers as the Perth Wildcats tie the game 52-52. And we have got a ball game on our hands.
And it's everything you expect from finals basketball. Two teams going at each other physically, really playing good basketball. The Perth Wildcats doing a good job, maybe a little bit sharper, not turning the basketball over, but the Breakers, both teams, the Breakers and the Wildcats, got to feel real confident about where they are going into halftime.
The first half is over in semi-final number 1 for the Breakers and the Wildcats. It's all square, 52 all here in Auckland. They didn't have Kirk Penny for about 6 games at the start of the season for various reasons. And we're underway in the second half. But no Mika Vukona, who's played in every single game for the franchise this year. As Lish misses the first shot. It's a huge blow for the Breakers not to have that defensive dynamo harassing and rebounding the Perth Wildcats. As Wilkinson fades, misses. Matty Knight pulls down a board. And the crowd stay on their feet out of the halftime break. Damian Martin has it. Canary and Boucher jump out on him. Tovey, 10 to shoot, drives left, fades at the free throw line and rips the 2. Cameron Tovey getting it done.
And I thought the first half was intense, but both teams coming out really sharp and playing at a high speed right now here in the third quarter.
Wilkinson backing down Brown. Up and under move, nice work from Gary Wilkinson. Set him up beautifully.
And with the dipsy-do, what a great move by Gary Wilkinson there. Just shows him the ball, then dips right underneath. That's the kind of post play that they really like to see from Gary Wilkinson.
Knight, short runner. Brown gets a rebound. Offensive one again as Tovey's feeling it. Back irons it, and Wilkinson pulls down the board.
The Breakers got lucky there. Another offensive rebound, which really hurt them in the first half, but the Perth Wildcats unable to convert.
Penny has a mismatch. Up fake. Hanari's open, gives it to Abercrombie. Over the top of Tovey. Misses, and Martin has it, gives it to Lish. Averaging 17 against the Breakers this year. Lish drives, blows past Kirk Penny. And 2 points for
That gives him 13 for the game, so it looks like 17 as well, and within reach for him, and he's playing very well, doing a great job of attacking the Breakers defense.
Still Novacona on the Breakers bench. Still being attended to. 6 to shoot. Abercrombie gives it to Wilkinson. Step back. It's a 2. Air ball as the shot clock expired, and Gary Wilkinson does not look like he's got spring in his step. Lish for 3. Oh yes, Kevin Lish. Delightful from Delish. 59-54. And timeout on the floor for the Breakers.
And not what the Breakers wanted to see to start the third quarter. Their offense is not playing well right now. They look a bit in shambles. Kevin Lish, on the other hand, catching in rhythm, shooting in rhythm, nothing but net in rhythm. And to compound it, the Breakers turn over the ball immediately, so it's going to be Perth Wildcat ball coming out of the timeout.
The Breakers are looking sluggish. And Gary Wilkinson looks sluggish on 2 defensive possessions there. And just ambled up court, back and forth. And Andre Lemanis is chewing them out right now.
Okay, so we get it on, sell it, hard backdoor cut here, Kirk. We get to the dribble handoff, we set the up screen. Gee, if you're open, stop right on the rim. We can get you some of those ones right on the rim, and then set the down screen and go. Okay? Hey. You said play hard, don't play stressed. Okay? Just relax here, get into it, get after the defense, talk. There was a good hustle. We've got to continue to get the scrambles, we've got to challenge, we've got to box out. We get some stops, go ahead and run. Be strong with your cuts, set good screens, be aggressive at the rim. Here we go, 1, 2, 3.
I'd like to hear that from Andre Lemanis, trying to keep his team calm. See a few worried looks on the Breakers bench. This is not what they expected to happen. The Perth Wildcats coming out very aggressive here in the third quarter, scoring the first 5 points, or 7 points to 2 in the Breakers run. And the Breakers just need to knuckle down, get into that offensive flow, and play the way they have so far this season.
22-6 is a great record for the Breakers, but it counts for naught as Matty Knight takes a 3 and Wilkinson gets another rebound. But really, you've got to think that the Breakers are under the pump here from the Perth Wildcats. Early doors in the second half, sure, but Perth are playing really smart basketball as Wilkinson goes for 3. Short arms it, Lish comes away with it. The man has a spring in his step, that's for sure. All right, let's go down to Dennis, who has an update on Mikavakona.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Look, we've just talked to Noose, the trainer. He's been working on his medial ligament. Apparently, he's strained it. He's going to have some scans tomorrow. It's very, very unlikely that he will be back on court tonight, but we wish him all the best and a speedy recovery.
And there you see it in the replay, just bent just the wrong way when Kirk Penny ran into him, and an unfortunate break for the Breakers here in the finals.
That's not a cork thigh as Toby misses a 3, but we have a foul on Paul Hanare. That is a serious knee injury, not just for Mikavakona, but also for the Breakers. And that will surely affect whether or not he actually travels to Perth for Sunday's game.
And the call there goes against the Breakers. They can't quite believe it. Everybody thought it might have been over to back there by Andre Brown, but the Breakers, quite normally an undersized team, even more undersized without Mikavakona.
Lish is on fire in the third, stroking it with a long 2.
And we talked about him in the pregame. As he goes, so goes this Perth Wildcats offense, and right now this offense is on fire.
Certainly is. Kevin Lish is on fire. 7 points in the quarter as Abercrombie gives it to Wilkinson. 3 on the way. No good. And the Wildcats get another rebound. Tovey dumps it off to Brown. Beautiful play. Oh, in and out for Andre Brown, a heartbreaker.
Everything but looks like it was down, but somebody came in and popped it out, possibly the ghost of the North Shore Event Center.
Someone needs to step up for the Breakers here in the third quarter. Is it Abercrombie? No. Martin controls it.
And right now, no offensive rebounds for the Breakers as well. One shot stopped, and that's exactly the kind of defense Perth wants to play.
Andre Brown easily to the rim.
Well, he couldn't get it on the last layup. Sorry, Andrew, but he couldn't get it on the last layup, so he decided to go a little bit closer this time around, and just short of the dunk.
Penny for 3, yes, Kirk Penny.
And you ask who needs to step up, and that's who it is right there. Kirk Penny, 20 points per game score. We need to see more of that from him.
Lish for 10 points. 10 points in the quarter for Kevin Lish.
And the Breakers just need to lock down defensively on Kevin Lish right now. You got to find him in transition, and the Breakers are not doing that at the moment.
Braswell gets the pressure from Martin. Has a shot blocked by Andre Brown on the help D. Whose ball is it? It's Breakers' ball as Jesse Wagstaff checks in. And Andre Brown will take a seat. Gary Wilkinson is out on his feet. He does not look like he's in match condition whatsoever as he and Abercrombie take a seat for the Breakers. Bruton and Boucher are in.
Yeah, you're
Penny, 2. No good.
You're absolutely right about Gary Wilkinson. He just does not have the energy levels that we've seen from him all season long. And really now for the Breakers, that means they're without their 2 starting bigs.
Oh my goodness, Kevin Lish is on fire, and we will take a timeout on the floor. Andre Lemanis has seen enough. Lish for Perth has 24 for the game.
What can you say about the performance he's coming out with right now? Kevin Lish has the ability to turn it on in finals basketball, and we're seeing that right now.
We'll get the roller going, all right, on that second side of the basket. Trans on the flies, all right, and get some secondary. Just go with trans through right now. All right, go with trans through right now. If it's walk-up situations, get some thumb side going as well, all right, but we need some stuff at the basket. Everything's a jump shot. On the hustle, obviously, Lish is feeling it right now. So on the hustle, you've got to stay connected, try to get him on his right hand, and we've got to find him in transition. If the post has got them one-on-one in the block, the other post man doesn't come and help him. All right? Okay. Yeah, exactly. Keep the ball movement. Here we go. Chip away.
And Kevin Lish, somebody call the fire department because he is on fire right now. Just finding the range every time. His teammates are looking for him in transition, and the Breakers just too late defensively on the transition. And then we saw the last 3, and he is feeling it. He's coming back, looking at his teammates with confidence, because right now they know where to go to get some points.
Averages 13 on the season, 17 against the Breakers, has 24 in the 3rd quarter. It is an amazing performance from Kevin Lish as Mika Vakona rejoins the team. But the Breakers are under the pump as Damian Martin picks up the foul at midcourt. Breakers down 12, 69 to 57.
And could be a bit of a break for the Breakers there. That's Damian Martin's 3rd foul. Going to have to send him to the bench. Of course, the production doesn't drop very far because Brad Robbins comes in. He is also an excellent defender. You know, maybe a step below Damian Martin, but quite a physical player. And just really built from the same mold with the same kind of heart.
Breakers down 12. Perth Wildcats a sensational 3rd quarter. 6 to shoot. Braswell, what's he got? Left hand 3 on the way. No good. Bruton tracks down the rebound though. Boucher. Braswell gets it back. Bruton for 3. No good again. The Breakers are shooting bricks in the 3rd, and the Perth Wildcats are shooting out the lights. Just as I say that, way blows a lab under some good D. Breakers stepping up after that timeout. Boucher on Lish, harassing him. Nice D from Dylan Boucher. Robbins step through, loses it, has it slapped out. Or did he just flat out lose it? I couldn't see, it is back to me, but the Breakers will get it back.
And right now this Breaker team looks a bit shook. You know, that the blow of Mika Vakona has got to be weighing on them heavily. This is a guy that they depend on for a lot of their energy. And right now, that's a bit of what they're lacking, that energy on the offensive glass.
Well, you look at the experience they have out there. CJ Bruden's won 3 titles. Dylan Boucher, numerous titles in New Zealand and in the NBL. And they're coming up with blanks. In the 3rd, Kirk Penny, 2nd leading scorer at the World Champs last year for the Tall Blacks, as Lish finally misses a shot and Pledger comes away with it, puts it on the floor. Braswell has it, gets into the lane, slapped out, came off his knee, and the Perth Wildcats will have the ball.
And another turnover for the Breakers. It looked like they have numbers. Kevin Braswell chose to push it to the lane instead of looking for possibly Kirk Penny in the corner there, and ends up being the wrong decision. And here we see the Perth Wildcats 17 to 5 here in the 3rd. The Breakers just cannot find the range from anywhere on the court.
Kevin Lish, the finals MVP, has 13 of those 17 Perth Wildcat points in the 3rd quarter. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. Williamson to Robbins. He's not going to shoot that three, so don't fall for that fake. Williamson will shoot it, though. Long, long two, and B.J. Anthony in the game. Someone needs to step up for the breakers on the glass. Will it be B.J. Anthony? Pledger, mismatch. He travelled, but he was fouled before that was called. And a break for the breakers.
Good recognition of the mismatch by C.J. Bruton. Just throw it into the big fella when he's got one of the guards on him, and Alex Pledger makes no mistake about it. Goes straight to the basket, draws the foul. Here we see it. Alex Pledger right to the basket. Too much aggressiveness there by Drew Williamson. Sending Alex Pledger to the free throw line. And the breakers still really looking to find that spark to get them going. The Perth Wildcats were able to withstand the flood of offense from the breakers in that first quarter. Now the question is, can the breakers withstand this flood of offense from the Perth Wildcats here in the third? And for the most part, I'm talking about Kevin Lish, who may have missed his last layup, but he is still, I think, a little bit on fire.
Wagstaff up with the right hand. 2 points for Jesse Wagstaff. Nice strong move for the former Rookie of the Year last season. Full court pressure. It's time to see what this Breakers team is made of. It's winning time as Kevin Braswell bricks a three. Way comes away with it. The Breakers have gone stone cold here in the third. Robbins step through. He's fouled and he'll go to the line.
And B.J. Anthony unable to keep up on the switch there. Brad Robbins, not known for his jump shot, but has excellent skill penetrating the basketball, and he takes it right to the defense. B.J. Anthony just doesn't quite have the foot speed to keep up, and good recognition there by Brad Robbins.
Really has been a horror third quarter for the Breakers, a sensational one for Kevin Lish and the Wildcats. In and out on the second.
But the Breakers cannot lose their confidence. They have to know that they are a premier offensive team, but not when things like that happen.
It'd be helpful if they didn't lose the ball under some pressure as Wade collides into a breaker. Fouls on C.J. Bruton.
And you got to wonder where the recognition is from the Breakers. Who was it that I didn't see? I can't quite remember who it was that inbounded that basketball, but he passed it in. Just left Kevin Braswell all by himself. The double comes. He had no one to pass to. All four of his teammates on the other side of half court. And the Perth Wildcats just doing a great job of switching up the defense, keeping the Breakers off balance with a switch to zone from the press offense. And right now they're really looking to keep their foot on the gas pedal and keep this run going.
Stephen Wade, 8 and 7 on the night. Fantastic contribution from Wade. Andre Brown is 10. Lish obviously with 24. And hands on the head already from Andre Lamanos on the bench. Rao was slightly forward, thinking through what he's going to tell his troops in 1 minute and 52 seconds. That's how long is left in the third. Braswell has it. Fires a bullet to B.J. Anthony. Beautiful pass from Kevin Braswell.
And finally, somebody's able to get the ball through the basket. B.J. Anthony stepping up, where Mika Vukona sitting on the bench with that injury. Maybe B.J. Anthony can bring that life force that Mika normally brings.
Andre Brown has it. Gives it to Wade. 8 to shoot for the Wildcats. Truman with the screen. 4 to shoot. Wade needs to do something. Drives. Will he get it off? Yes, he does. And Alex Pledger came across just a little bit too late. And it's offensive goaltending as Dylan Boucher and Gary Wilkinson check in for the Breakers.
And what a move by Stephen Way there. Gave Tom Abercrombie the jab step, got him caught up in the air defensively, and just made a great aggressive move right to the basket. And once again, Alex Pledger just a little bit late on the block shot to get the stop.
Boucher gives it to Abercrombie, and Brad Robbins, excuse me, clobbers him.
And the Breakers having a chance to attack there, but don't have that same aggressiveness that they had earlier in the game. Looked like a 3-on-2 break there, but instead of converting, they started to dribble out, and fortunate to get the foul call.
Robbins harassing Braswell. Still on Braswell as Wilkinson tries to save it and does so as it came off Jeremiah Truman's arms. Breakers have it, 8 to shoot, less than a minute to go, 52.3 seconds. Who's going to step up for the Breakers? It's Kevin Braswell, another sweet dish, but Boucher blows the layup. Braswell gets the steal though. Boucher on way, looking to pass. Wilkinson puts it on the floor, and Robbins got his hand in the cookie jar and stripped him.
And the effort's there right now for the Breakers, but the execution is not. Their offense not looking nearly as smooth as it did earlier in the game, and a lot of that has to go give credit to the Perth Wildcats defense.
7 to shoot, 11 on the game clock. Truman controls it, 3 to shoot. Wayne needs to put it up. I don't think he realizes he does now. Air ball, 4 to shoot in the quarter. Abercrombie is fouled just before the buzzer, and it's an unsportsmanlike foul as well as he went into the stanchion.
And what a break that would be for the Breakers, not to drop in the double entendre there, but Thomas Abercrombie absolutely gets hammered into the face by Drew Williamson. Not a smart foul there. If it is, I don't know if it is a flagrant or not, but yep. 2 free throws. Unfortunately for the Breakers, they can't get the ball with no time left in the quarter. So doesn't really hurt the Perth Wildcats too much, but crucial free throws here for Tom Abercrombie to try and get the Breakers to claw their way back into the game.
Well, currently they're down 15. Make it 16. What a third quarter from the Perth Wildcats. Sensational from Kevin Lish, who came out and dropped in 13. And they lead the New Zealand Breakers by 14 as we head into the fourth quarter.
And right now, the stats, the rebounds telling the story. 12 rebound advantage for the Perth Wildcats, and 9 of those offensive. Just too many offensive rebounds for the Breakers to give up.
We need second repair. We're getting a bit bogged down on this here. Be more explosive on that now. So change the pace, get in here. You guys look to well, find the open players, but we need better ball movement. Okay? Now defensively, let's go back to 1 here.
Like at the end of the day, we scored 8 points in that quarter, and we're still in the basketball game. All right. What happened was we stopped going to the rim. Everything ended up being a jump shot. On the defensive end, now you're going to be up the top and you're going to disrupt here. We've got to disrupt. Okay, so we're in like our red 40. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, it's red 40 back to pack. So red 40 principle. So here, whack. If it's being quick and you only have to deny, get it out. Keep messing with him when he's on the back court. When it comes back to the big man, go ahead and get back in front. We're fine. Are we rotating? No. If it's Wagstaff, you can. It's Wagstaff. If you think you can go pick one off, go ahead and pick one off and rotate behind that. Defensively, in the middle cylinder, we're still going to hustle that, okay? Keep being good on that. Keep playing. They're putting their head down and driving. That's what we've got to be able to guard. Keep the scramble, keep rebounding. Offensively, push on the fly, get some lead post run, get something going, and don't be scared to get a reversal. We don't get.
And here we see Cameron Toby early in the quarter, doing a great job of getting the Wildcats off to that start, but from there on out, it was all Kevin Lish. He was finding the range from deep. His teammates were finding him, and he didn't even need to put a rim up there. It was nothing but net the entire third quarter. What a performance by Kevin Lish in the third.
It's not like they're going to Perth to win the game because it is such a hard trip. They went to Perth and they lost by 40. They won in Adelaide, the Doomsday double, but they went there and they lost by 40 early on the season. They didn't have Kurt Penny, but they've got Kurt Penny tonight at home. And the Perth Wildcats are getting it done on the road, and this is why they're the defending NBL champions.
When you hear Andre Lamanis praising or he's trying to keep with the aggressiveness, and that's what the Breakers need to do. They need to keep their heads up. They need to have that self-belief and keep playing like they can win this basketball game, because it is still possible.
The Breakers have certainly had plenty of critics through the season as Gary Wilkinson gets inside with a beautiful move from the big man. They've said they have a soft underbelly. They lack a bit of defensive intensity and nous at times. And they'll need to come up with a defensive effort in this fourth quarter. 76-64, the Perth Wildcats lead. They don't have Mika Vukona. He's done his knee as Robbins gives it to Williamson in the corner. 3 on the shot clock, 3 in the bank for the Perth Wildcats.
And beautiful ball movement there. The ball just whips around the perimeter, and they find Drew Williamson open in the corner.
Boucher backing in Williamson. Up fake is hammered. Veteran move from Dylan Boucher, and he'll go to the line to complete a three-point play.
And he missed the bunny in the third quarter, but he made sure about this one. Did a great job of using the ball fake to get the mismatch with Drew Williamson up in the air, draw the contact. Did a good job of using his elbow there as well to just create a little bit more space and get the Breakers that extra point that they need so badly. And it gets him every time.
The ball.
The hitch in the free throw that Jeremiah Truman, you should know about that one by now. You're a former Tall Black teammate.
Misses the second attempt on the second attempt as Brown just muscles in a block on Gary Wilkinson. He tried to save it and threw it to Williamson. Stephen Way is blocked by Thomas Abercrombie. And they lead 13 points, 79-66, and the energy is sucked out of the gym. There's even some of the season ticket holders are getting crabby at me for getting my stat sheet over the top of them at quarter time. They're not happy. This is not the way that they wanted their team to play after fashioning a 22-6 record. They expected more from the minor premiers as CJ Bruton. Hand in the cookie jar, as you say, Casey. Kurt Penny checks back in.
Well, that's the aggressiveness they need defensively. They need to make something happen with this 13-point deficit. They're going to have to take some chances on defense. And if they get the fouls, it doesn't really matter because they're not in the game right now. But if they can create some turnovers and get the basketball going like Thomas Abercrombie did right there.
Throw it down. Oh, Thomas Abercrombie got hammered and still completed the two-point.
And the energy comes back into the gym. That's exactly what the Breakers need. They need a lift right now, and Thomas Abercrombie provided it with the steal. Draws a foul. Don't even know how he finished that ball. But what a timely finish for Thomas Abercrombie and the Breakers. And a timeout gets called here, so lessens the impact, but exactly what the Breakers needed at that point.
Perth Wildcats leading 79-68. Andre Lemanis is talking about it with his team. They need something big to come up.
Because they've got two bigs in there that are loose with the ball. Everyone else just go ahead and hedge unless it's a loose pass. Let Tommy sprint back and guard Knight and those guys, and don't let them pass it to anybody else up the floor. Okay? In the half court, obviously, when we read, scramble out of there. If, like, you know, we end up with Knight or the Brown on one of those guards, push it back to the middle, come aggressive with the blitz, and rotate behind it. All right? Everyone's got to rebound if we're scrambling all over the place and people are flying in. Offensively, get it, runs fine, trans through is a real good play for us. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
And there you hear Andre Lemanis talking about keeping the aggressiveness up defensively. Taking some chances is what they have to do right now. Expect to see them to come out in that zone press. Right now they've got a smaller lineup. Dylan Boucher going to be playing the center spot, so a lot of quickness out there. The ability to get in those passing lanes, that's what the Breakers need right now.
Abercrombie completes a three-point play. It's a 10-point Wildcats lead. Full court press from the Breakers. Matty Knight just casually dribbles it over half court. No one picked him up. Tanari right up on Robbins. Damian Martin's about to check in for the visitors. Lish, can he continue the hot shoot? And you bet he can. Falling away from the corner. The man is on fire in the second half.
And CJ Bruton there got caught going over the top of the screen. Kevin Lish, great recognition, just pops back and hits the jumper in the corner.
That was a huge three from Kevin Lish. Penny, up fake. Gives it to Abercrombie, who goes right on Brown, spins, loses the control, and he travelled. Another turnover for the Breakers, number 11.
And just trying to make something happen there, getting a little stagnant offensively, forced it a little bit, and those are the chances. The Breakers have to make something happen offensively if they hope to get back into the game.
13-point lead for the Wildcats. Abercrombie, good D on Lish, and he just reached in, whipped it round, and picks up the personal foul.
And Thomas Abercrombie incredulous at that call. Thought he got it clean with the reach from behind, but always a difficult play when you try and reach from behind, let the player get through. And here the replay shows Thomas Abercrombie. Oh, that looks like a great hand, but the body completely blocked off to the play, so the referee really did not have a great angle to see. And if it looks like a foul, it normally is a foul.
8 to shoot for the Wildcats. Oh, just too easy for Damian Martin. A layup drill. Perth lead by 15. Everyone's sitting down at the North Shore Event Centre. Boucher in the key. Matty Knight on him. Abercrombie for three. No good. The Breakers have gone cold from outside. 6 of 22 in the game.
And they're doing a great job defending Kirk Penny right now, just being extremely physical, knocking him off everything, and Thomas Abercrombie just can't quite get the steal there. Everything seems to be slipping from the hands, but we have an 8-second call on the court. So the defense creates the turnover, and it's going to be Breakers ball again.
Excellent pressure in the backcourt from the Breakers. 7 minutes, 11 seconds. Is it going to be a season-defining game here at the North Shore Event Centre? Kirk Penny, even he can't hit when he's open.
Gotta have that jump shot right now, wide open. Nobody guarding you, the best shooter on the court. You gotta hit it.
A feeling of anxiety fills the gym as Lish finally misses in the second half, it feels like. The Breakers get the ball back. Of course, it's not an elimination game, but going to Perth is a big, big ask for any team, let alone this one.
Well, you play the whole season to get home court advantage, to give yourself the chance for a second shot. So the Breakers, this is a game that they really thought they needed, but like you say, they're not dead in the water yet, no matter what happens tonight.
Tovey hammers Kirk Penny, and Penny will go to the line. Really is time for Kirk Penny to start getting things done for this Breakers team. It's 3 of 8 from the field, 12 points. Excellent defense from the Wildcats on the former MVP of the league.
And having Mika Vukona on the bench with that injury has really limited the second chance opportunities for the Breakers, and they really thrive in that situation. Mika Vukona, even though he doesn't get every rebound, he makes it so much easier for his teammates to get offensive rebounds. And the Breakers do a great job of converting on those kickouts, which they just haven't had the opportunity to do tonight.
84 plays 71. Wildcats in control in Auckland as Tovey glides across the lane. Who wants the offensive rebound? It's a defensive rebound for CJ Bruton. Braswell gives it to Bruton. Corner 3. 6 of 25, 24%. The Breakers normally a hot shooting three-point team. As Wilkinson hammers Lish, picks up another foul.
Timing just a little off on that defensive play. Did a good job of hustling to get back into the play, but Kevin Lish looking for his teammates, can't find any. Gary Wilkinson just trucks over him. Perth Wildcats possession.
CJ Bruton putting his body on the line there. Almost came up with a turnover. And Perth have 10 to shoot.
And the Wildcats are giving the Breakers an opportunity. There's a lot of 50-50 passes being thrown right now, and the Breakers just not quite able to get the full possession, not able to steal it cleanly, getting their hands in the passing lanes, but not able to retain possession.
You saw that stat, the Breakers just getting pounded on the glass. No Mika Vukona, they lose the 7.5 a game. As Damian Martin shoots over Wilkinson, has it partially blocked, but Matty Knight comes up with it. He misses, and Lish comes away with it. Why don't you shoot it, Kevin Lish? Seriously, you're on fire. You can shoot it from there.
And another offensive rebound, the story of the night for the Wildcats.
Excellent patience. They have a double-digit lead as Lish just gets to the hole with the greatest of ease, but he can't quite get the finish, and Penny comes away with it. Tovey on him. 14 to shoot. Braswell running the baseline. Martin on him. Nice defense from Damian Martin. Just a little bit too vigorous though. And he picks up the personal.
And good offensive execution that time by the Breakers. Didn't have anything transition, did a good job of pushing the ball up, but settled it down. Kevin Braswell did a great job with the right to left crossover, creating some space, getting to the lane and drawing the foul, and earning the trip to the free throw line, where they really need to start converting at a higher rate. Only shooting 68% so far tonight from the free throw line.
Well, it was the play of Kevin Braswell that closed out the Perth Wildcats in October. It was a missed 3 in February from the Perth Wildcats that almost sent the game into overtime. They've lost by 2 and 3 here, and at the moment they've got the Breakers down 12 as Tovey spins, has a shot blocked by Wilkinson. It comes off Tovey's face. Yep, a Falcon on the basketball court, and the Breakers come up with the ball.
That's a tough pill to swallow. Standing on the line, your teammate slacks the ball in your face. Opposition ball.
Kevin Braswell into the lane. Has a shot blocked by Damian Martin. Great defense. And Matty Knight controls it. They are a slick unit, this Perth Wildcats team, and they are battle-hardened. Look at that. It's too easy. The Breakers are just at 6th and 7th, and they are getting smashed at home in the first game of the semi-final. And there's every chance that they will not come back here in game 3 if they continue to play like this.
And the offensive foul there on Kevin Braswell, just too aggressive with the off arm. And the Wildcats not tuning it down defensively whatsoever. Great job by Matty Knight, moving his feet. Was able to get in front of him. Just quick enough to get in the right position, and Kevin Braswell just a little too aggressive with that off arm. And now we have the timeout here with 4.5 to play. The chance for the Breakers to put together one last effort.
Split, toes down the middle, and you guys go. But at the moment, you're hiding out there. Basically, how do you look at the alignment like this?
From this side. So you keep Martin and Lish going to the right hand on that middle on ball. Okay? And then scramble behind him. Can't give up 2 baskets now. Offensively, on the fly, just go with trans through on the first side. So here, whack, if there's nothing, get that on, set the down screen, get it hard to the basket. They're switching a lot of this stuff. Roll the post, get in here, get the guys spotted up. On walk-up situations, get some shakes. All right, go ahead and get shakes. And on the shakes, sprint into that screen on the weak side, whack. And if he's got nothing, turn and re-screen him and be aggressive on that stuff. Okay? You be the screener.
It's been the deep shooting from the Perth Wildcats, Casey. Long 2s and deep 3s falling out of bounds.
And you talked about them being the second worst three-point shooting team in the league. Tonight, they're only shooting 33%, but it seems like they got all of those here in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and just killing the Breakers with the deep ball right now.
That's their season average, 33%. They are the 3rd worst shooting team in the league from deep. Gold Coast and Adelaide, 2 and 1. It's Matty Knight, another easy layup, and he'll go to the line to convert a 3-point play. Even he can't believe it. He looked at Kevin Braswell.
A bit questionable on that call. Looked like Kevin Braswell just jumped by, tried to let him have the layup because he had nothing that was unable to stop the play at all. But here we see a nice pass from Cameron Tovey finding his teammate, and Kevin Braswell got a bit of the off arm there. Good call by the official, sending Matty Knight, who's had a very solid night around the basket, really giving the Wildcats a presence right down there on the block.
13 points, 14 points and 6 of 14 shooting, 7 rebounds, 3 of them offensive for Matty Knight. Bruton gives it to Wilkinson. Braswell. Martin just strips him, just lunges at the ball. So does Braswell, and it tips out of bounds. And the Wildcats will have it as Wilkinson sits down again, and Abercrombie checks in.
And the effort is there. The Breakers are working hard. Just whatever moves they're trying to make right now just don't seem to be working, and you can just feel the atmosphere sucked completely out of this gym. We could have a conversation from each side of the court right now.
17-point lead for the Perth Wildcats. Some people can't believe it. Others are scratching their head. Kids came here expecting a big win, shaking their head. The Breakers are getting smashed at home by the Perth Wildcats. Turnover, Breakers have it, Penny, up fake. And Braswell controls it. Abercrombie, hit by Tovey.
And the last thing that the Wildcats want to do is foul now. Both teams in the bonus. And these fouls are exactly what the Breakers want. Getting able to go to the free throw line, get points with the clock stopped, and then set up their press defense, which they've had pretty good success here since they started to go with it. But getting some turnovers, but is it going to be a question of too little too late?
Well, with 3:42 to go and a 16-point lead, it might take a couple of small miracles to combine into one big one to claw that lead back that the Perth Wildcats have on them. And then they've got to travel to Perth and try and win in that environment, which is hard to do. It's Kevin Lish, gives it to Damian Martin. 3.5 to go in the game. Tovey up high. 7 to shoot. Tovey gets it back. 3 to shoot. Needs to put it up. Excellent defense from the Breakers. And even Kevin Lish can hit it when he's just thrown it off his shoulder.
Well, it's easy once the clock's off, you know, just no pressure then.
3:16 to go in the game. Breakers have the ball. 89 to 73. Stick around for the post-game show. Casey Frank will tell you what they need to do in Perth if they want to pick up a road win. Tom Abercrombie puts in the layup. I'm looking forward to that, Casey.
Yeah, that's I've got all the answers. That's why I'm up here in the commentary booth.
Excellent pressure, but the Breakers pick up a foul, and I believe it's going to be called on Dylan Boucher. It's no use booing now. Your team's down 14.
And another tough break for the Breakers there. Only 1 second away from the 8-second call in the backcourt. And instead of getting the turnover, it looked like they had the numbers there. I don't know exactly what Dylan Boucher was supposed to do there to get the foul. He can't do anything but just stand and take that contact. But Roger Shields disagreed, calls the foul, sends Cameron Tovey to the line with just under a tick of 3 minutes to play.
Tovey hits the free throw. Of course, the series is a best of 3. And a game 3, if required, we'll be back here on Wednesday, next Wednesday, just under a week away, as Boucher turns the ball over. Damian Martin picks it up. He has 4 steals. Andre Brown nails it.
With the pretty floater there, right in the middle of the lane. Great find by Damian Martin.
Abercrombie, 3 on the way. Can't get it.
And they look so good from the three-point line early in the quarter. Now just shooting 6 of 26 from the three-point line for the game.
And the crowd is starting to leave. It is the NSEC shuffle. As people are filing out, they've seen enough. 92-75. You don't get free burgers if the away team hits 100 points. 94-75.
Now the question is, do the Breakers want to pull their starters? Give Kirk Penny, Thomas Abercrombie a bit of rest, because this game is getting out of reach now. 2 minutes with that long trip to Perth can be quite a difference. 19-point lead now with 1:54 to play. And just really a shocking defeat on the cards here for the Breakers.
Certainly is. They had all the momentum. They had everything, but they just did not have Mika Vukona. And he knows it. He's absolutely gutted. You can just tell by his face. His knee is no good. He may not travel. An MRI tomorrow hopefully will confirm it's not serious. But if Mika Vukona could play on that knee, he would be out there playing on it.
Last year for the Tall Blacks, he came into camp with a monster knee brace on his knee. He had a similar knee strain, I believe it was with the meniscus last year at the end of the season. He suffered in the New Zealand League with Nelson, and he played through that. So if there's any chance for him to play through something, I'm sure he will, because he is a warrior.
Kenny misses the three. Wagstaff pulls down the board, and that has been the story of the game. 42 rebounds to 25. The Perth Wildcats just cleaning up the glass. As Lish will go to the line.
Now we get the subs in. Corey Webster and Paul Anari come in for Kirk Penny and Thomas Ramcramby. Just not enough offensively and defensively tonight for the Breakers. And you talk about the offense, shooting 6 for 27 right now from the three-point line, down to 22%. But really, 95 points for the Perth Wildcats. Defensively, what has really been the Achilles heel of the Breakers for the entire season is once again reared its ugly head.
Gary Wilkinson, a valiant effort from him tonight. 16 points. He did not look 100%. He looked like he's still drained from whatever has been afflicting him the last couple of weeks. As Boucher sits down, 17 points from Tom Abercrombie. He's really tried to step up, but it has just been a frustrating night for the Breakers. And for the Perth Wildcats, they have been sensational. As Lish takes a seat with 29 points on 9 of 15 shooting. And it has been the Perth Wildcats all game. They have brought it, and it was an amazing third quarter from the visitors that really set this game alight for them.
And all credit to the Perth Wildcats. They came in here with a great game plan, weathered the storm in the first quarter of the Breakers' outstanding shooting, and then brought their own outstanding shooting in the second half, and have really just dominated this second half, holding the Breakers to only 23 points with a minute to go.
Well, you know it's over when development player Josh Bloxham checks in. Much different night last week when he came in and had a quick couple of shots, 5 points off the bench. But tonight, he's getting the taste of his first playoff basketball game, and it's in circumstances he probably won't really remember fondly.
And this is one that the Breakers are just going to have to shake off. And it's a tough thing to do as a professional sportsman, is just completely forget the game that just happened. But that is their only option. They've got to play in just about 48 hours from now in Perth. And they are still a good offensive team. They have the ability to get the win regardless of who's on the court for them.
Another turnover for the Breakers as Toby comes away with it. Truman, former Breaker, got the ball slapped out of him, and Benny Anthony just picks up Brad Robinson straight up off the floor. But I just want to talk about Damian Martin's night. 9 points, 6 assists, 5 steals. He has been the heart and soul of this effort, along with his backcourt partner Kevin Lish with those 29 points.
And he certainly sets the tone defensively for the Wildcats. Did a great job all over the court, got 2 quick fouls, and that didn't affect his defense at all. And the Wildcats once again dribbling right down the teeth of the defense for the Breakers and getting an easy layup.
There it is. The century is up, 101 to 75. No chance of burgers this week from the Breakers faithful. And Webster has it. Hanare driving baseline. Bloxham gives it to Webster with 5 to go. Back of the iron. And that will do it for the Breakers. It has been a sensational effort from the Perth Wildcats as Webster hits a long bomb. But they will win 101 to 78, and they are up 1-0 here in Auckland in a best-of-3 series, and the Breakers have to go to their place and play them on